do, 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 do. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Welcome to a daily dose of joy. It's a little chilly, and we're going to warm ourselves up with a little laughter. I'm going to share some whoopsie daisies. What are some of the whoopsie daisies I've had this week? I mean, talk about like a tell-all. I mean, every week I come on and tell you guys about the whoopsie daisies. And it's a really fun practice to have in your life because it is so my default to laugh when things get wobbly or even uncomfortable. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. So this week, let's see. Well, one of them happened last night. Went by a friend's house, dropped something off. She's coming out the door, and I'm like, oh, let me walk halfway up the driveway and meet her and hand this thing off to her. And my pup is in the car with me. And so I leave the keys running, leave the car, it's in park, emergency brakes even on, just because he's in the car. But I leave the keys in the car. So I've turned it off and not running, it's turned off. Get out of the car. But, leave it unlocked, keys in the car, just no big deal, like 10 seconds. I come back, and in his excitement to see what we were doing, he has stepped on the lock button on the door and locked the car. But luckily, I had, because he was in the car, cracked the windows. I mean, I know it was only for 30 seconds, but still, thank goodness I cracked the windows. Because I could reach an arm in. I got up on the running boards and was reaching an arm in. And it was one of those things where I had to put a leg in the air to get enough leverage to almost I would be standing on my head kind of maneuver. And reach in there. It was like one finger I could reach the unlock button. So I'm on the side of the road, a leg in the air, reaching in the car, laughing. As people are taking their evening stroll or walking down the sidewalk, and at the same time I'm waving cars on by. It was just like whoopsie daisy. Oh, it was so funny. But it was great because it worked out. Oh, excuse me. And then another one was my son had these yummy sweet tart, chewy, like sweet tarts, but they're chewy and they're round. And so I said, oh, let me pick the most sour one and let me try it. Because he was like, these are great. And so I reached my hand over to him, and I am driving. And he puts this little rolly ball into my hand, and it rolls right down my jacket sleeve and almost to my armpit, but not all the way through the jacket sleeve. So I've got this little ball, and I'm driving and trying to shake out shimmy. And then finally the little sweet tart shows up in my hand again. And I'm like, whew, don't want some gooey, sticky, sweaty mess in your armpit. Sweet tarts in the armpit, whoopsie daisy. Don't want that. I felt sort of like a Pez dispenser when it came out the other side. Oh, goodness. So, whoopsie daisy. Let's see. What are some others? And I want to celebrate that there was a time in my life where those little things would happen and I'd be so irritated and it all just seems laughable now. Thank you, universe. And brain rewiring and microdosing tools. Ooh, thank you. Let's see, what other whoopsie daisies have happened lately? The car, the candy. Oh, the hot chocolate. So my son loves hot chocolate. Boy, that boy. He'd like to mainline the stuff. That guy loves hot chocolate. And I don't know, boiling milk, warming milk is like, it's an odds game. It seems like inevitably the milk boils over all of a sudden. I mean, you're watching it, it's warming up, hasn't come to a simmer boil yet, and then like a nanosecond later, it's made this plume and is pouring out of the pot and filling up the wells on the stovetop. And so I kind of cautious about making hot chocolate because it boils over with, semi-regularity. And so I was making hot chocolate and getting I try to avoid, this seems to only happen when it's early in the morning. So we're getting him to school. It's like 6 a.m, making breakfast, making hot chocolate, because we start our day very early. And yeah, sure enough, I was cleaning the pot from doing the eggs and turned back around and the plume has happened. just as my son walks in and he's like, the hot chocolate. And we're both like moving in slow motion to the oven and to the stove and turning off the heat, which then causes the giant chocolate milk bubble to collapse back into the pot. And yeah, I don't know why it made us both really laugh because it was a whoopsie daisy. It's like, whoopsie daisy. That's a good 10-minute cleanup there. That's a job because he goes up to the hot stove, and so we were laughing about who's going to clean it up. Since I was making it, I had to buckle down and get it off everything that it had bloomed onto. Oh, it gave me an early morning chuckle, and the hot chocolate was very good. Alrighty, well, those are just a few whoopsie daisies to start our day, to calibrate our brains to finding the humor in things, to letting go of resistance to the unknown, to the wobbles, letting go of the resistance and the tightening of it all has to go the way we planned or the way we think. Allowing in that flow and going with the flow and enjoying all the sillies that come along with it. May today surprise and delight us, but we didn't take our 3 solidarity breaths, so rewind. And let's take our 3 solidarity breaths. This is our moment to pause and celebrate our intention that we are choosing joy. We are optimizing our brains for joy. May today surprise and delight us. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.